In this chapter, we're going to cover the portrait. Until now, I taught you the basics of photo painting. When I demonstrated the bride in the previous chapter, you learned the blenders and how to add a little bit detail. Now I'm going to start focusing on individual topics. And one of the topics that I'm going to cover is portraits. I'm going to briefly go over this portrait. And you do have images to practice with. Again, they are in your CD on your DVD, and you have them in the goodies folder. I didn't mention when I was teaching you the bride that there is an image there called the bride as well. It's in your goodies folder. I just want to really quickly show it to you. This is the wedding gown, and I would like you to practice the sandwich and the blending in detail like we did on the bride previously. Please practice it on this wedding gown. It's very similar. I just couldn't give you the other image. But this is similar, or if you have one of your own images. And just get started. Get blending. Add colors just to get into the painting. Okay, let's go now into portraits. Portraits are very difficult to do. But let me give you a few little hints and a couple of brushes that I created to make life a little easier for you. So first of all, we are now still in my workspace. We are in Phase Master Workspace, but I want to change the layout, meaning that I want to give you the brushes that we're going to use. This one is my toolbox. I want to add a layout that I have more tools that will be available to you. So we're going to go into Window, Arrange Palettes, and I want you to launch Paint Like a Master. This is just a different layout. You are still within the same workspace. So click over here. And now I still have my toolbox. I have hair brushes that I created for you with Ashley's icon. And we have the Masters toolbox, which has different brush categories from different masters. And we'll go over them as we proceed to paint. So right now, let me show you. Here is May Wynn, and I photographed her in our workshop in Las Vegas in Paint Like a Master, a sweet little girl. Here is the original image. As you see, I had to add detail, and I took care of it in Photoshop. I did a little sandwich on her, changed a little bit the color scheme, and I added a white background, and I came up with this image. And I came up with a white background because I want to have where the image should flow. I wanted to continue the trees, and I wanted to flow out this beautiful organza. So, I wanted to flow out the lace. So the first thing I have to do when I open up an image is I got to do File, Clone. I never want to work on the original image. There we go. Okay, so now I have the original, which I don't need right now. I'm just going to put it aside. And I have the first one, which I corrected it. That's number 1. And I did a clone of it. So let's put this on the side also. It still stays open until I'm through with going back and bringing back information if necessary. And now, after I cloned it, I'm going to start painting. But what I need to do is add an empty layer. So I said, New Layer. Let me just close this so you can see the layer palette. By just clicking on these little triangles, I'm collapsing the palettes. I am not really closing them. If I were to close, it would be on the left side on those boxes. So let me just open up. I have the color wheel, I have the layers. I added an empty layer above this canvas. And the first thing that I'm going to do in this chapter is I'm going to teach you how to paint hair. And I have created an entire brush category devoted to hair. And to make your life simple, I have beautiful brushes that are for individual things that you need to paint the hair. I have a stray hair remover, and let me show you what I use that one for. It's exactly what it says it is. I come in here with that brush and bring it down smaller. And I come in here and I go right over the stray hair. But as you see, nothing is happening. I made a mistake, but I did it on purpose. Let me show you what it is. There are certain brushes that will not work on blank layers and will not pick up underlying color. A good giveaway is if it doesn't have resatch in the buildup in the property bar, you don't see the resatch in it. And let me go back to another brush that does have resatch. I have a brush that is a bristle blender that's for hair. It does have resatch in it. The value is 0, which means you're going to be blending with it. But that one, if I paint, it will pick up underlying color. I can paint on a blank layer. But this one, which is called Stray Hair Remover, it needs it needs pixels. It needs to be on the canvas layer. So I would just go down and paint on the canvas layer, and now when I go over it, it just does magic. It takes away the stray hair. Unbelievable. I don't have to do every single one, just a few of them that would interfere in the flow of my painting when I start blending the hair. So I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just demonstrating for you something like that. And over here is very important because when I start blending the face, that color is going to interfere. When I blend with grainy water, it's going to bring me in the color of the hair, and I don't want that. So I will remove the stray hair from here and from here. And there as well. Just a couple of stray hairs. Okay, and demonstrate again. You just go right over the stray hair and it's gone. I love that brush. Okay, my little secret and my gift to you. Now, we'll take care of that later when we come back into the face. Let's do the hair right now. If I were to take grainy water and start blending, now I'm going to go back up to the top layer and start taking, which originally that's how I painted, and start blending hair by hair. It's going to take forever. I have to do every single strand, and it's also extremely flat. So let me close the bottom eye and show you that this is what I did. Let me take the eraser. Let me just erase all that. I have created for you a hairbrush category, and in here what we have is brushes that have bristles on them, 0% resaturation, and I can pull a bunch of hair in one time with this brush. Literally, it is a hairbrush. So let me get in a little closer and show you how it works. I'm taking this brush and I'm painting on the empty layer, and I am pulling down all the hairs together like a hairbrush. Okay? Now a hairbrush goes in a certain direction when you know that I simulate reality. So in the real world, you don't comb your hair like this, or else your hair you'll have a very bad hair day. Trust me. The way you do it is you go from the top down. Okay? Now you have to concentrate and pay attention to which way you're going to move your paints. If I were to take the light and bring it all the way down, that's good. But if I'm going to take the dark and pull it too much up, I don't want to make it all that dark go up. So let me just undo a few times. So what I want to do is I want to pull down the hair up until the point where I see it gets dark. And then I'll come up. Yes, I'll go against the grain. I know we don't comb our hair upwards, but I am going to pull a little of the dark up into the light and stop. And sort of in between, just blend it very gently together. Just like that. Okay. Now this is the part where you guys have to stop me because I get mesmerized again. Let's just do over here. So far I was going back and forth. Now when I have something like this, which is a wave, I can't just go back and forth again, or I'm going to lose that beautiful wisp. What I want to do is comb it in the direction of the flow of the hair. So I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to go like that too. Okay? So you are going to comb the hair. You're going to use the paintbrush in the direction of the way the hair is flowing. Okay. So far, so good. Good. Now, another thing that we have to address here is what if I want to add detail to the hair, like it looks a little flat. So I will come in here with two different brushes. I have add color to hair and add detail texture, which also adds. These are two brushes that I like to use. And what I do is I option or I alt a color, let's say something like here, make it a little lighter, and I will come in and I will add some highlights. Let's take a little bit from the yellow, bring in a few highlights in here as well. And then I'll come back with the hairbrush, and I will sort of blend it in again. And that's how I add my lights and my darks as well with the brush. That color detail texture, that's a brush that I like to add. And here I'm adding a little dark as well in between the lights if I lost it. Okay, and I'm going to show you, let me go back one more time and show you something that I did already further on. Let me just take out the painting that I already worked a little longer on, because obviously I cannot demonstrate in 5 minutes how to do hair, and this is what I did. Okay, so notice how I combed the hair and I did the wisps. I added the color, and I added over here nice detail with those two brushes. Again, we have color detail texture and we have the add color here, and you can play around with both of them. They have two different textures of brushes that add nice detail to your hair.